Holy, look at that. Finally, after over 3 years at this point in time, the pandemic, I think, is it fair to say it's finally over? It's finally over after 3 years, and your boy can go back to the United States because I weathered it. And I didn't capitulate. I didn't bend. I didn't break. I didn't fold at all whatsoever. I survived. Imagine that, like so many of you guys out there watching. I survived the winters of death. I survived the people with the Neanderthal thinking, and I made it out the other side, and my heart's fine. Biden administration announces the end to federal COVID-19 vaccine mandates. That's fantastic. What does he mean by that? Border crossings. Border crossings, finally. Legally ones, though. We got the other ones to talk about here in a second. But I wanted to start off on a good note. I guess better late than never, but this still isn't W. Biden. This is just... Well, we'll elaborate on that in a moment. The Biden administration is going to end the slew of COVID-19 vaccine mandates, including its requirement that foreign travelers provide proof of vaccination. Yeah, it wasn't so much that you could even substitute that with a proof of overcoming recent infection, negative tests. No. You had to get the jab in order to travel. Trust me, I had a parent who went down to the States. I forget. It was within the past couple of months, and they needed to provide proof of vaccination, even though they hadn't gotten the jab. And oh Lord, I forget the time for it, but it was back in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember, but it was a minute. It was a minute ago. No additional boosters or any dumb stuff like that. But no. They just needed to see that you capitulated and you complied. And yeah, you can go ahead and hop on the plane with the rest of the good little obedient people. Stupid. Proof of vaccination required at U.S. land borders will also end on May the 12th, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Fantastic. I can actually get back into the States for the first time since... I think the last time I was down there was 2018. Interesting. Okay, so if you want to sponsor a poor little refugee boy that would cross the northern border and then just come and seek asylum in the great United States for just 73 cents a day or whatever that old propaganda from UNICEF used to be. Well, even though now we know that UNICEF, UN's Epstein-esque program in order to groom kids. But hey, man, trust me, I'm big enough to say no. Mandates imposed by some agencies, including the National Institute of Health, no, they can just offer simple advice, shut up, will remain in place for now, the White House told the Associated Press. Yeah, we'll just leave them on in the background, man, if we still need the fear tactics that are out there, okay? In case we find another emergency, if something leaks out of a wet lab place, who knows, man? But yeah, that's so good. It's so good that the Biden administration is starting to take border security more seriously. Here's another one. Title 42 set to expire because all of the emergency provisions, which Title 42 is, set to expire as thousands of migrants approach the southern border. Is pretty bad. You can take a look at some of the news reporting out of, I think it's El Paso, Texas, that is completely overrun, and it doesn't look too dissimilar from Skid Row in Los Angeles with the amount of tents and brown people that are out there living on the streets. It's a pretty grisly sight, but no, they're just refugee and asylum seekers. As you can see, all of those military-aged men, but just somebody please think of the 2 children that you see in that scene. Anyways, Title 42, a Trump-era public health order that gives the government power to automatically expel illegal immigrants. I can't believe that had to be an emergency top-down decision, but here we are. It is set to expire on May 11th, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. With the expiration of Title 42, all illegal immigrants will be processed under Title 8 immigration law. That is more involved and a longer process. Representative Henry Cuellar, a Democrat, told the Epoch Times that Title 42 has been ineffective at keeping illegal immigrants from crossing into the United States. Yeah, because DHS and Border Patrol are overtaxed and underfunded. I don't know if you guys remember, but was that 2021 or was that 2022 when he had the little tent city underneath the underneath the overpass that was numbering in the arena-sized figures, like 16,000 people. They had the drone fly over top, and then after all of the news coverage that was there, that was around the same time that Border Patrol is whipping those poor brown brown people with whips from the back of their horses, even though it was selectively picked pictures that, hey, in the grand scheme of things, looked pretty cool and they were high resolution, but it was the reins from the horse that were just flapping in the wind. Everybody remembers that, but they don't remember that it's, illegal border crossings. These are criminals, and why you're just letting them into the country just because, the other provision doesn't work, so now who cares who's coming across the border? But if you're coming through the north, you better have your papers. Title 42, you just expel people, and there is no repercussions. Yeah, if there was Title 43 where you could put them in trebuchets and fire them back over the Rio Grande, that would be nice. Coulier said, under Title 8, there is some teeth, which means if someone is deported, there will be a 5, 10, 15, 20-year ban or more. Oh, great. You know what would also solve this problem? Making it illegal to cross the border without proper documentation. If you did that, I'm sure that there would also be a lot lower instances of border crossing. God damn it, people are stupid. That's why you're still a Democrat, Henry. Vice President Joe Biden said in January that his administration will return to Title 8 once Title 42 is rolled back. It's somebody's prediction. That is, there's nothing particularly insightful about this, man. Title 42 is going to go away. Like a dream, it's just going to go away. At the end of the year, in terms of the Supreme Court, my prediction is going to have a lot of chocolate chip ice cream, man, and use Title 9, Title 8. He's a smart man. He's a very smart man, and he's also understanding that, yes, there's a caravan coming. Once again, and another one. It's not like border crossings have stopped. 6 digits worth of people, 250,000 people, every single month continue to get apprehended at the southern border. Like, it got tiresome just documenting it time and time, month and month, again and again and again, saying, hey, look at border crossings are still up. Oh, they're up over the previous month. They continue to be up. Oh, this is supposed to be the slow season? Well, there's no incentive for anybody to turn back. So if you give them phones at the border and you just tell them, oh, you just go into any of those middle states and you just go ahead and add some culture to those, sparsely populated white people areas. You just go up in there and you show those MAGA Republicans what's what. Just don't come near any of the places where we live. Little Pedro, you little scamp. You go ahead and you just go. Take Kamala Harris's book if you want. These characters will likely try to enter the United States by force, so the protocol of the border, which is to safeguard and protect the passage, will be put to the test. Juan Rojas, a member of the Mexican National Guard, told the Epoch Times an estimated over 3,000 migrants, that is a grammatical nightmare, from at least 50 countries, including China, will be marching to the U.S. border after Title 42 is rolled back. But the actual figure could be larger than that. Of course it's going to be. And yet, no, that's not being misstated. If you listen to... This is going to sound weird, but it's totally going to make sense. Stay with me through the duration of the sentence. Myron Gaines from the Fresh and Fit podcast also runs another channel, Fed It, which is very, very good, and I highly recommend it. But he used to be an agent for DHS, and he worked on the southwest border of Texas. So he knows, and he can see all of the different demographics of people that went down there, and that was his specialty at the time, knowing what these traffickers do, bring in drugs, guns, arms, and people as well, human trafficking. He knows their tactics, and Chinese, Asian immigrants will try to get through the southern border, and they're called exotic. So Chinese terrorists, ne'er-do-wells are going to come through the southwest border, just like asylum seekers from El Salvador. Mexico has recently granted the migrants free passage through the country. Yeah, as long as you don't stay here, Holmes, you just continue to go. You just go as far as you want. Don't go too far. It gets way too cold if you go past like Montana and shit. It's fucking wild up there, Holmes. See the big fucking animals on like 4 legs I see and shit. They got big fucking horns coming out of their head and they go, not like a donkey, Holmes, but like the big motherfuckers that are up there, huh? I heard they like to drink kokanee and have good time though. If you want to play like ice hockey or shit, like go ahead, just keep going, but don't stay here though. Hey, just keep going, huh? Yeah, it's so fun to just break out accents every once in a while. But in light of this caravan, 3,000 migrant caravan, which kind of sounds a little bit small in the grand scheme of things, what is Biden doing? He's sending 1,500 troops down to the border, and he's finally recognizing after 2 years, after 2 years realizing that there has been an infiltration, and why is he doing it right now? Heading into an election season. Like, it's so patently fucking obvious. He didn't care. Listen, millions of people have poured through the southwest border. You know it, I know it, we all know it. The numbers that we see are just the people that have been apprehended. Every single day, every single minute, every single second, somebody is crossing the southwest border, the Arizona border, the New Mexican border, the Florida border. The Florida border. They're making their way into the United States unmolested. Well, not to remain that way, you know. A lot of dubious people running these people. So now, because Biden's announced that he's going to be seeking re-election, he thinks all of a sudden, hey, there's a problem at the southern border, man, and we need to take this seriously. We need to defend our borders. Just vote for me in 2024. Can you? I still can't believe that motherfucker's running again. Holy, well, he doesn't run anywhere because he just makes a couple of quick steps and then he falls. The United States will be sending troops to the southern border in Mexico, the White House announced on May the 2nd. The move is unveiled ahead of the expected surge of illegal immigrants as pandemic restrictions known as Title 42 are set to lift on May 11th. The southern border has been hammered over the past 2 years by an unprecedented influx of illegal immigrants. Well, when Biden was campaigning from his basement in 2020, he said, hey, once I get elected, you guys just come and storm the border, man. It'll be great. We'll give you free stuff, and you won't have to stay in places where there's war and unrest, and you can bring all that shit here. It'll be great. Come on, just vote Democrat. Leaving Border Control authorities struggling to keep up with the limited resources. Pentagon Press Secretary General Pat Ryder. I'm sure he sucks, but that's a really great name for a general, just saying. Confirmed in a Tuesday press conference that the Pentagon would be sending 1,500 U.S. military personnel to supplement border control resources for 90 days. Ryder suggested this could be extended as the need arises. These 1,500 troops will fill critical capability gaps. I don't know, you're going to bring requisite amounts of artillery? I'm just wondering. Such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support until Customs and Border Protection can address the needs through contracted support. Hilarious. You need a deterrent. You don't need additional personnel to help process the illegal. No human is illegal. The economic, or are we on climate change refugees, or does that not come around until it's warm enough in the summer? So we might have to hold off on that proclamation for a little while. But no, man. Erect the fences, set up the barbed wire, and if anybody decides that they want to cross the border illegally when they're told not to, well, orale, hombre. Fucking two in the ground before you get two in you. Turn your shit back around. Get the fuck back to your country. Come through the legal way. Like I had to wait and couldn't come to the United States for 2 fucking years. Wait for the actual paperwork to come through. How about that? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.